Okay, there we go. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and start with our breath. We're going to play a little bit with the breath just to kind of wake ourselves up. So what we're going to do is find our bodies, and then once we find our bodies, we're going to do a little bit of Kapalabhati breath. Usually, a lot of times this gets used at the end of class, but today I want to wake our brains up because it's early. So what Kapalabhati breath does is it focuses on the exhale, and it's a very strong, powerful movement that you do through your diaphragm, okay? So you can either do it just through your nose or you can do it through your mouth. If you do it through your mouth, it sounds like this. So you're going to take a deep inhale and then push everything out really forcefully through the low belly. Shh, 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 right? And so my whole belly is moving, and that's what you want. It's like you're going to wake everything up. All right, so we're waking our bodies up since we're going to kind of be working in this area today. So what we'll do is we'll do a set of Kapalabhati, then we'll move into our deep diaphragmatic breath, then we'll do another set of Kapalabhati, and then we'll move back into our deep diaphragmatic breath. Okay, sound okay? All right, so take a few moments, let your eyes close, and just be there, be present, and check in. Find any areas that aren't feeling completely comfortable. Please remember that you would invite you to have your hips higher than your knees. If that's not possible, another thing that I invite you to do is to please, rather than cross your legs, allow your legs to move out. Just place a little block underneath the knees to make sure that there's no hyperextension through the kneecaps. And as you're here, just take these simple first cycles of breath. To check in, to make sure that overall you have a feeling of balance, a feeling of connectedness. Beautiful, you guys. Nice. And then when you're ready, allow your hands to come to rest at the low belly. This first set will do 20 breaths. You're going to go ahead and take a deep inhale through the nose. And when you're ready, exhale forcefully. Shh, 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 shh. Allow your hands to release from your belly. Come back to palms facing up. And now gently move into a full diaphragmatic breath where your breath begins at the low belly. So begin the inhale, filling the low belly, allowing it to move to the solar plexus, and then all the way up behind the heart to just below the collarbone. If it feels good for you this morning, please feel free to pause at the top for 1 to 2 counts before you exhale your way from behind the collarbone and behind the heart, down to the solar plexus, and then drawing strongly in through that low belly. And just find space, opening as you expand, coming from the bottom up, and then releasing your breath from the top down. One more cycle of breath. And then again, bring your hands to the low belly. This time we'll go ahead and we'll do our Kapalabhati breath, our breath of fire, a little bit faster, and we'll go ahead and go for 30 counts. So again, take a deep inhale. Again, remembering you can do this through your nose if you prefer, and a strong exhale. Releasing the hands one more time, coming back. Full diaphragmatic breath. Deep, full breath coming from that low belly. Holding at the top if that's what feels appropriate for you, and then exhale, release it, coming from the top down. Really enjoying that full inhale coming through the nose, and exhale, releasing through the nose. One more cycle of breath. And then when you're ready, go ahead and allow your hands to come over your heart. Take a moment to connect into something that you feel grateful for. Still using that deep diaphragmatic breath, breathe that in. Let it feed your mind and your body. And now we're going to go ahead and bring our attention to sound. We'll sing 3 sounds today. We'll start with the sound of ah, move to the sound of oh, and then the sound of mm. On your 4th breath, please set your intent for your practice, what you most need, what you most desire, making it an I am statement. And as you sing, feel that vibration and that tone move through your body, through your systems. So when you're ready, using that deep diaphragmatic breath, taking a deep inhale. Ah, And then when you're ready, very gently, very slowly, release the hands. Allow them to come palms facing down on top of the thighs. Eyes still closed. Feel the shoulders relax. This time I invite you to feel the shoulders press down, but instead of coming from the tops of the shoulders, I want you to see if you can find the bottom of the shoulder blades and use that part of the shoulder to gently draw the shoulder down. And it may not feel like you move much. In fact, it might only feel that you're moving just a couple of millimeters. And that's fine. This is not how big the movement is. It's about finding that lower part of your shoulder blade to connect in with the muscles that depress. And then gently let it relax. Feel that recoil and feel the softness that's beginning to find its way in through the shoulders. Taking another full deep inhale, and then with the exhale, hands still on top of the thighs, gently begin to find that inner edge of the shoulder blades, that medial edge, and feel that inner edge of the shoulder blades gently begin to draw the shoulder blades together. And again, this is not about how big the movement is. It's about how much you can isolate into now finding the retractors that gently draw those shoulder blades together. And then let it relax. And this time, feel the shoulders gently round towards the front, gently moving from that recoil of retraction back in towards protraction. One more time, focus on depressing the shoulder blades. So find that lower edge of the shoulder blades. Feel them slide down. So again, not using the tops of the shoulders. See if you can isolate and find, knowing that when you first start this, you may not be able to feel it very well, and that's okay. This is something that you practice, something that you work towards. Remember, this is a yoga practice. It is not a yoga performance. So you are working, you're mindful, and you're present to what you where you are and what you are today, and let it relax. Feeling the body soften as the shoulders spring back. Again, pause, and then when you're ready, on the exhale, now finding that inner edge of the shoulder blades, gently feel them draw towards the spine. And again, not necessarily a large movement. We're looking for something that is honest. So what you're looking for is really moving into the muscles that retract. Beautiful. And then let that relax. Feel the shoulders spring back more towards protraction. And now very gently allow that left ear to move towards the left shoulder. Breathing in. We're going to do just a little bit of isometric work. So you're going to take that left hand, bring it up over the side of the hands. Fingertips are pointing towards the top of the ear. And without creating a range of motion, just simply press your head very gently into that left hand. Just asking those neck muscles to begin to wake up. Remembering that you're only using about 30% of the total power in your neck. So this is not something where you're going to end up with black and blue marks because you've been pushing hard. This is just gently waking in. And then gently let it relax. Inhale, bring that head back up to center. Pause. Take a moment to see if you can feel the sensations running all the way from behind the ear, down, through and behind the shoulder blade. And then when you're ready, gently roll that right ear towards that right shoulder. And the reason being that we're only going to use about 30% is that you have many different nerves that live in the muscles, and some of these nerves respond better to things that move more slowly and things that are not at 100%, so low levels of engagement. This time you're going to take the right hand, gently bring it up and over the head. Fingertips are going to point towards the top of the ear. Take that full deep inhale, and then with the exhale, again, 30%, just gently press the head into the hand. So again, this is not about creating range of motion movement. This is just finding activity through the muscle, through the connective tissue, and just gently waking everything up. Going for the nerve endings that are set for slow movement and things that are not strong and forceful. And gently let it relax. Release the hand. Bring the head and neck up. Take a moment to notice how you're feeling. If it feels good, you can do gentle infinity symbols through the head and neck, just moving very slowly back and forth with the head tipped forward. Or you can do a gentle circle with your head and neck, moving that in both directions. Just connecting in. Making sure that everything from the top of the head down through the bottoms of the shoulder blades are gently waking up. And then when you're ready, allow the corners of your mouth to turn up, eyes open softly. Great. Thanks. Okay. All right. So from here, we're going to start on our backs this morning. Go team. How easy is that? Yay! Okay. So since we are going to be focusing a little bit, y'all, thank you for joining us. That would be Jerry and Rocky. So thank you, thank you. Good to see you guys. Okay, so you guys, what we're going to focus on here is just kind of gently connecting back into, oh, there we go. Back into our trunks. Okay, and back into the pelvis a little bit. So starting with the knees bent, let your hands come to rest on the fronts of your pelvis, okay? Because what I want you to do is that as you inhale, I want you to notice that as you expand through your belly, the front side of the pelvis is actually going to move, right? So while this is a very small movement, what you're doing right here is you're actually lengthening your psoas just a little bit. And then as you exhale and you allow everything to come back and reground into the mat, the front of the pelvis also changes direction. So what you're doing is, all we're doing is we're checking in with our breath, but we're also checking in with the movement of the pelvis. So again, deep inhale. And I want you just to envision a very gentle stretch for the psoas, which starts all the way back at the very last thoracic vertebrae. So T12, that's the bottom end. Exhale. Let everything relax back down. That's your bottom rib, your last rib. And then what the psoas does is that it attaches to every single one of your lumbar vertebrae. Inhale again. And then what it does is it sweeps into the inside of your pelvis and becomes, exhale, connected to your iliacus, which is a muscle that lives on the inside of the pelvis. And then it goes from there, one more time, deep inhale, and attaches all the way to your femur bone, which is the biggest bone in your body, and attaches to the lesser trochanter. So it actually moves through your spine, through the pelvis, exhale, and then comes all the way down to your femur. It's a pretty important muscle. And because we sit like a C an awful lot, it can become short and affect the lumbar spine. All right, so from here now, what I want you to do is begin with the right leg, and I want you to extend it and hover. So you're not letting it rest on the floor. All you're doing is letting it hover about an inch above, okay? Now, what you're doing here is not only are you activating your core, but you are also activating through the psoas and the iliopsoas. So if your body says yes and can handle it, I want you to leave the leg long. If that feels like that's going to be too much and you're going to recruit other muscles, I want you to put a bend in the knee. So what I want you to feel here is you're going to come from the glutes a little bit. So squeeze through these right glutes and draw the leg up to 90 degrees. Good. And if your muscles shake a little bit, that's great. And know that what's working is not only your core, but it's also your psoas and your iliopsoas. So again, as you exhale, I want you to engage through the front of your abdominals, squeeze through the glutes a little bit, and ever so slowly lower that right leg. And again, allow it to hover so you're an inch above the mat. And then let it relax, bend into the knee, and come back to a full diaphragmatic breath. So you guys, how many of you feel that kind of activation when we stand on our feet and I ask you to flex your leg up? You should have that same amount of activation if we do this from a standing posture. So one more time, let's do this with the right leg. Again, you're going to place your hands on top of your belly. I want you to feel that core begin to activate to create that support as you lengthen that right leg out and allow it to hover and touch your core. Feel how strong, how much is your core working, right? It's working a lot. Squeeze through that right glute. And when you're ready, continue to activate through the core, activate through the glute. Deep inhale as you exhale. Slowly bring that right leg up. Your foot is flexed. Your muscles are hugging to the bone, right? Because your femoris rectus, that lone top quadricep, is working too, along with everything in the trunk. Good. Use your core, squeeze, and now very gently, very slowly, lower it back down. This is the eccentric part of the contraction. This is the one that you want to do really, 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 really slow, because this helps the tendons, the muscle and the tendon junctions really stay connected and healthy. Helps your proprioception. Hover again 1 inch above, and then gently relax and release, bend into the knee. Take that deep inhale, Feel that gentle stretch through the psoas. Exhale, let everything relax. So from here, we're going to move into eye of the needle pose. So I want you to lengthen this left leg, lengthen the right leg, bend into that right knee, and bring the leg across the top of the thigh so that that right ankle hangs off the left leg. From here, we're going to do this a little differently. I want you to bend all the way back down into that left knee, and now bring that leg all the way back down. Okay, so the sole of the foot is now resting on the floor. We are not bringing our legs up to 90 degrees, not yet. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to feel, just notice how this feels with one leg crossed. Are you feeling any kind of difference through the back of the pelvis, down through the lumbar spine, in and around the sacrum? Okay, so this is just a space to notice right now. So from here, now I want you to lift this left leg again and gently draw it in towards you. So all we're doing right now is we're asking the lateral part of our glutes, our minimus and medius, to begin to open and relax a little bit. If you feel like you can do this and it's not too much, I want you to take your hands. I've shaken both of my hands. Your right hand is going to go through the hole. Your left hand is going to go around the outside. And I want you, if possible, to interlace either that or just hold on to the back of the left thigh. And just breathe. So we're allowing this to be a passive movement, just to let everything within the glutes relax. So what you need to remember is that everything works in concert. Nothing really works by itself. So the psoas, the glutes, okay, the iliopsoas, the top of the thigh, the rectus femoris, that one lone quadricep, they all work together. And then gently, slowly release. You can let go, release the hands, allow the leg to come all the way back down. And then very gently release that right leg and let it come back. One more time. Let your hands come to the front of the hips. Take that deep inhale. Feel the expansion through the low belly. Exhale, let it relax. Okay, we're going to move on to the left leg now. Okay. So from here, laying on your back, again, remember, this should feel good. If this feels like this is too much, I want you to keep the left knee bent. So you are going to begin by allowing that left leg to hover. And again, notice. Let your hands play on your belly. Make sure that the belly is engaged, okay? Squeeze through that left glute. Flex through that left foot. And mindfully bring that left leg all the way up. Keep squeezing through the glute. Keep engaging through the core as you're working. Flexion of the hip. Good. Breathe. And now, when you're ready, exhale. Again, squeeze through the glute. Your other thigh muscles are working because your knee is extended. But I want you to place the focus on the core, on your glute, the center of the body, because that's what moves the hip. And again, when you get down, allow it to hover 1 inch above. Breathe. If you feel a sensation like something's working, high on the inside of the thigh, almost towards your groin, that's your iliopsoas. And then just let that release. Bend into the knee. Let the hands come back to the front. Breathe. Feel your pelvis move again. And then one more time. Extend through the leg. So you guys, here's the little tricksy part. You are using the other parts of your quadricep, but that's to extend the knee. It's like, so let that happen. But what I want you to feel as your left leg is hovering is I want you to feel the core engagement. So everything through the trunk. I want you to feel the squeeze of the glute, right? Your iliopsoas and your psoas are very deep, so it's difficult to feel those. So you need to find and feel the muscles that are around them that create the support. So again, deep inhale, exhale, slowly. Oh, let it come from your core. Feel those core muscles engage. Squeeze through those glutes to bring that leg straight up. While you're here, notice that once the leg is at 90 degrees, your core can soften a little bit. Now we're going to bring it down. So again, re-engage the core, squeeze through the glute, and very slowly lower the leg. So now we're working the eccentric contraction through the core, through the glute, through that top quadricep and into the iliopsoas. Breathe. Still hovering 1 inch above. And then gently release, bend into the knee. Whoosh. And again, hands to the front of the hip bones. Deep inhale. Allow that spine to arch. And then exhale, allow it to release. And then again, allow both legs to come up. This time you're going to cross your left over your right. Allow this left foot to hang off. Bend back into that right leg and allow the leg to come all the way back down to the floor. Sole of the foot on the mat. If you want to increase this just a little bit, you can bring the heel a little bit closer to the sits bones. So before we move on, just right here, I want you to notice if this feels fairly balanced through the center of the body. Okay. Making sure that there's no cranky bits anywhere within the lumbar spine, within the lower spine, within the sacrum, or within the back of the pelvis. From there, you can come up onto the ball of the foot on the right leg and then gently lift that lower leg, bending into the knee, gently drawing this right leg in towards you. What you're looking for, and we're going very slowly, is making sure that everything feels good, that we're at a place where the stretch feels good. Again, both hands. This time, left arm is going to come through the hole, right arm is going to come around on the outside, and just simply overlap the hands. You can interlace if you choose. Breathe. Now releasing into the lateral parts of the glutes, down into the insertions. Deep, full breath. Not asking too much of any one thing. Really focusing on the deep, full diaphragmatic breath. And then very gently, very slowly, unwinding the hands, releasing the leg, allowing it to come all the way back down. Release this left leg, bring it back down and over. Okay, here's what I want us to do next. Grab a block, okay? We're gonna play a little bit with some bridge movements. So again, this we're gonna start firing. This is gonna be a fun one. We're gonna come from our glutes, press down through our feet, okay? So here we go. So deep inhale. Let your hands come to rest lightly along the sides of the glutes so that you can really feel them squeeze. I want you to begin the lift by pressing down through the feet, squeezing through the glute, and letting the pelvis and the sacrum come off. So again, we're just about an inch above the ground. This is a very small movement. Now we're engaging through the quadriceps. Exhale. Gently, slowly, still gently squeezing through the glute, creating space for that lumbar spine. Gently release that low back. Back down onto the mat, and now release the glutes. Take a deep inhale. Allow that arc to come through that lumbar spine, opening and stretching gently through the psoas. Exhale. Let it come back to neutral. One more time. Squeeze through the glutes, press down through the feet, activate through the quadriceps. Gently, slowly, see if you can actually bring a gentle tuck. So this time, the tailbone is coming up. Gentle rounding, little bit of rounding into the lordotic curve, the lumbar curve. If it feels good, you can allow the movement to come up a little bit more. So now maybe you're 2 inches up. Breathe here. You're still pressing down, still squeezing through the glutes, still squeezing through the top of the thighs. And then exhale. Now be using your core to gently, slowly lower everything down. Once the pelvis comes back to the mat, release the glutes. Let everything relax. Hands to the front of the hips. Deep inhale. Exhale. All right, one more time. Rounding, making sure that feet, knees, and hips are approximately parallel. If, as you're squeezing, so you guys, here's what's going to happen. As you squeeze through the glutes, automatically the knees are going to want to come out. So you're going to have to activate to make sure that the knees stay approximately hip distance apart. Okay, so it's natural for the knees to come out. You need to keep them about hip distance apart. So here we go. Squeezing, pressing down through the feet. Allow the tailbone to come up, curling up, squeezing, pressing down through the tops of the thighs. So you're pressing down through the feet, lifting through the glutes. If your body says yes, you're going to place your block underneath the sacrum in the back of the pelvis. Then let it relax. Supported bridge. Now from here, we can again stretch into the psoas. So what I want you to do is again, starting with the right leg. Be very mindful and make sure that this feels good through the lumbar spine, that they're not too much pressure, you guys. Please only do what feels good, okay? Lengthening slowly through this right leg. So all we're doing now is, again, oh, yummy, lengthening, coming all the way from the back of the ribs all the way down through the femur, stretching the iliopsoas. This is a great opening, and it doesn't take a lot of effort. Yay! Breathe. Really using your deep diaphragmatic breath. One more breath. And then very gently, very slowly, bring that right leg up. Pause right here. And then when you're ready, lengthen into the left leg, slowly, gently. Notice that there's a difference in sensation between the two sides. 3 full cycles of breath right here. Okay, very gently, very slowly, bring that back up. One more time, I want you to squeeze through your glutes, press down through the feet, activate through the quadriceps, lift, remove the block, gently, slowly, roll it down. This is early in the morning. Our spines are going, wait a minute. Draw the knees high into the chest. Oh, give yourself that gentle hug, that gentle reversal. We just did a whole lot. If it feels good, you can gently rock back and forth, side to side. When you're ready, roll yourself onto whichever side feels best. Press down into that hand and bring yourself up. Okay, beautiful, you guys. All right, so we did all that on the floor. Guess what we're gonna do now? We're gonna stand up. Woo! If standing doesn't feel comfortable, I want you to do this from the chair, okay? So both are very effective. I want you to do what's going to work best for you. So grab your strap. I'm going to adjust the camera. There we go. All right, you guys. Okay, have your chair here with the back to you. All right, have your strap handy just in case you need it. So we're going to practice again coming from a standing place, but this time we're going to allow the knee to bend because we're going to keep the lever longer. It'll be easier for you to isolate if we're not trying to lift the entire leg. And that will also really isolate which quadricep muscle we're using, okay? So you've got the, let's see, chairs on the left side. Everybody looks great, okay? So here's what I want us to do. We're starting in mountain pose. We're starting in neutral. So palms are face out or by the side. Feet are approximately hip distance. What I want you to do is find yourself in a standing posture. So where are you most comfortable in a standing posture? So start with your feet. Is it feet straight ahead, or is it with toes out very slightly? Okay. Is it feet next to each other? Okay. So there's lots of options here. So find that first. It's really important, you guys, that you get comfortable there. Finding next the center of your foot, let your hands come to your hips and just let your body sway forward and sway back. Sway forward, sway back, okay, until you find that most balanced place. Now, we're going to start by grounding into the left leg. So I want you to squeeze from the glutes. Now, I also want you to use your core. So bring your hands to your belly and make sure that your core is working, okay? So we're squeezing from the glute to lift, help lift the leg, which helps ground into that left foot. Left hand is going to come to the top of the chair if you feel that you need it. Otherwise, squeeze, and now get very strong. You're going to bend, using your core, to lift the thigh, okay? Your left leg, that ankle might be doing a big wibble wobble. That's great. Exhale, gently, slowly bring that leg down, okay? If you need it, feel free to bring your chair in front so that you don't have to go side to side. I'm going to take it over to the other side so that you guys can see. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So what I want you to do is, again, find your stance. So what you're doing here, you guys, is that we're working the entire chain. We're going from the pelvis all the way down to the ankle. So squeeze on this right side. Those of you that are in the chair, you can still squeeze through those glutes gently, okay? Spread wide through those toes. Same thing on the chair. Use the core. Same thing on the chair. If you need to, right hand can come to the chair, bend, and what I want you to do is really feel that core work, feel the glutes work as you pull the hip up, working into balancing pose. So all of this should be coming from the center of the body. The more that you can bring this into the center of the body, the easier the balance position becomes, because you're doing it closer to the core. Exhale, let it come back down. Woo. Little sassy hip, side to side. Okay. All right. So that we're not doing too much. We're going to come down into a lunge. You've got two options here. I'm going to demonstrate lunge on the chair, because believe it or not, you can do a lunge on the chair. Otherwise, we're going to use the chair as a prop. So here we go. If you are on the chair, you're going to simply turn yourself to the left, extend one leg behind. You've got your right hand on the front of the chair, left hand on the back, and you're in lunge. Breathe. You should be feeling this. This is going to start to move into the hip flexors. Play with trying to squeeze through the glute a little bit and notice what that does. If you're not on the chair, you've got your hands on the back, you're going to ground through this left leg first, step the right leg back, okay? And again, You can be here, hands can be on the top. If you feel comfortable, you can work this as a balancing pose. Breathe. And I want you to feel the opening through this right side. Deep, full breath. Now, this one is only depending if your knee and the quadricep say that you can do this. As you exhale, gently bend that right knee down towards the floor. You do not have to touch the floor. Squeeze through the glute to straighten and come back up. Push. We're really working in through the front of the thigh, and then again, also more deeply into the iliopsoas. Exhale. Gentle, gentle. I don't care, you guys, if this bend is 1 millimeter. If your leg is shaking like it's going to die, that's fine. Lengthen back in. Hands come to the front of the chair. Step the foot back up. Take as many steps as you need to. Good. Beautiful, you guys. I'm going to change just so that we can see. Now we're going to do the same thing, other side. So now we're working the left side. So right side stays forward, hands are on the back of the chair. Again, balance, take a big step back. Left leg is now back. If you want to play with the balance, hands can come off. I want you to really engage. You're using your core, gentle squeeze through this left glute, and we're really opening. Lots of eccentric opening through the front of the quad. If your body says yes, this is only if your body says yes, you guys. Gently, slowly, exhale, bend into that left knee. And again, it may not be a big movement. We're doing these very slowly. Gently lengthen back into that left leg. Feeling the heel once again move towards the floor. One more time. Exhale. Heel comes up. Gentle bend in the knee. Slowly, gently. Using your core. Lots of core here, you guys. Squeezing through the glute. Slowly release that. Glute is still gently squeezing. Heel is moving back. Lots of leg shaking. Step it up. Woo! Do a little sassy dance side to side. Okay? All right. Let's try it again. Now, one more time. Let's see if we can do this without the chair. Let the hands come to the hips. Squeeze into this left leg, okay? Those of you that are on the chair, same. Hands are on the hips. What I want you to do is squeeze into the glute on the left leg. Use the core. Bring that right leg up. Knee is bent. Now, see if you can squeeze through this right glute to open, help open the leg up. Beautiful, you guys. Look at you go. All right, now pull through the adductors. Draw the leg back. Look at you go. That's awesome. Slowly, gently bring the leg down. Little bit of squeeze, little bit of sassy hip. Here we go. Next side. Again, see if you can do this without the chair. Ground into this right leg. Squeeze up and through the glute to help lengthen. Don't hyperextend the knee. When you're ready, use your core, you guys. Core should be really strong, like right here. Bend into that left thigh, okay? So the knee is bent, but we're working the thigh. Or excuse me, we're working the hip. From here, I want you to squeeze through this left hip. Open the leg. Beautiful, you guys. Awesome. Nice. All right, now use your adductors. Pull. Bring those legs back. There you go, good. Gently lower down. All right, a little bit of sassy hip. Did it feel a little bit easier the second time? Because we opened a little bit more through the front. So one more time, we're gonna do the lunge with the chair. So whether you're sitting, whether you're standing, come back. We're gonna start with the right leg. So let the left leg stay forward. Hands are on the back of the chair. Gently step back into our lunge. Torsos are upright. There we go, good. Nice. Beautiful, you guys. Feel the squeeze through the glute. Use your core. This time, if you want to play a little bit more, don't hold on to the back of the chair. Let your hands come to the waist. When you're ready, very slowly and not a lot, you're going to bend that right knee down. As you're doing this, I'm really squeezing through my glute. I'm using my core. It's not hanging out. And all I'm doing is bringing the knee down and allowing my heel to come up. This is not a big movement. Everything right now is shaking, you guys. Very gently, slowly, release that. Keep squeezing. Lengthen that leg back. One more time. Squeeze. Gently bring it down. Okay. Those of you that were looking for a way to activate your glutes, this is a great way to do it. Gently let that release. Hands come to the front. Step forward. Woo! Little bit of sass. Okay. Let's do the next one. So you guys, here's the deal. The stronger you can make yourself through the core, through the glutes, the easier all of the movements become. Okay. All right, here we go. This time, right leg stays forward, hands are on the back. Lightly step back. Okay. Here we've got our lunge. Gentle lunge. All right, if you choose, hands can either stay at the back or they can come to the hips. You decide. Squeeze through the glute, engage through the core, very gently bend into the knee, the heel is going to come up. Really feel that squeeze, feel the engagement. You may have one side where the glute is a little bit more willing to wake up and do the work than the other, and that's fine. Gently, slowly release that. You're still squeezing through the glute. You're just releasing the knee, allowing the leg to straighten again. One more time as you exhale, squeeze through the glute, gently, slowly bend into the knee. Oh, breathe. Use that glute, you guys. It's going to want to hang out and not do the work, but it needs to be there as a stabilizer. So keep it squeezing. Then gently, slowly release. Hands to the back. Step forward. Yahoo, you guys. You made that look easy. Little bit of sassy hip. How we feeling? We good? All right. Let's sit in our chair for a moment. So we're going to revisit our eye of the needle posture. So we're coming to the front. So notice that it's like if I look at you from the side, I'm only using this little part of my seat, okay? All right. So we're going to start with our left leg. I want you to bring it up and over, okay? Now, if this is too much torque on the knee, I want you to hold, interlace your fingers around the lateral side of the knee and hold it up. Trust me, you're still going to get all of the opening through the glute. If opening is okay and you're not feeling it in the knee, that's fine too. So what I want you to do here is take a deep, full breath. And then as you exhale, you're coming from your hips, shoulders are relaxed. Gently, slowly, begin to bring yourself forward. As soon as you begin to feel a stretch through your glute, through your low back, stop. Please don't push this, you guys. And just breathe. Feel your body soften. And enjoy the space of yumminess where the stretch actually feels good. Build a new neural net that says stretching, yoga can feel good. I know, it's crazy, but there you go. And then just play with your body as it begins to open, as your body goes, oh, all right. If your body says yes, and only if your body says yes, you can begin to continue to fall forward. If the first place that you came to is still where it feels best, stay there. And breathe. Feel it soften. Because we just really used our glutes an awful lot, you guys. More than they're probably used to. And then gently, slowly release, bring that back up. With loving kindness, take one hand to your knee, one hand to your ankle, bring the leg down, shake it out a little bit. Okay. Okay. From here, I want you to bring up your right leg, bring it across. And again, pay attention to what the side is telling you. If this side has too much torque on the knee, interlace your hands underneath it so that you can cradle it and make sure that you're taking care of it. If you're not feeling any torque, again, come all the way down from the hips, gently, slowly, ever so slowly. Begin to hinge forward. It might be that on this side, you get a completely different sensation. So again, you're paying attention to where the sensation feels good. Think in terms of how a cat stretches, right? Cat doesn't stretch to feel bad. Cat stretches to go, oh, the deliciousness of the opening, right? They put their entire body into it going, oh, feels so good. That's the way our openings should also feel. Making sure that the shoulders are relaxed. And very gently, very slowly, begin to come back up. Again, one hand to the knee, one hand to the ankle, gently come back down. Okay. What I'd like us to do now, I'm going to turn myself to the side just so that y'all can see, is that we're going to just kind of balance out our upper body a little bit because we did a lot of focus on the lower body. So what we're going to do is you're going to take your hands to where it goes from the legs and becomes part of the back of the chair. My thumbs are moving straight down. My hands are wrapping from the outside towards the inside. I'm on the very edge of my seat. And what we're going to do is we're going to, again, when you're ready, take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, squeeze those inner edges of the shoulders together. Allow your gaze to shift as you squeeze. And we're taking this just into a very gentle back bend, but we're allowing our arms to stay low. And again, you're looking for the place that feels really good. And breathe. And then gently, slowly let it relax. Let the shoulders roll forward. Let your back roll away very gently, very slowly. You guys, you're being very mindful, very loving with your body. And then unwind. We're going to move this into a twist. So I want you to take this right hip and I want you to shift it back a little bit. So this right hip is going to come onto the seat a little bit more. Okay? Right hand again is going to stay either on the side at the seat or it can come back to the chair back. Inhale, lengthen with that left arm, bringing it up. And then as you exhale, feel it come from the hips. I want you to engage through this right side of the trunk. This is the active place, okay? When you're ready, allow that left arm to come down. It's either going to come on top of the right thigh or to the outside. You are strongly squeezing with this right side. Right hand is now on the back of the chair. Gaze is forward, or you can continue through the rib cage and allow the gaze in the head and the neck to look behind the chair. Breathe. Keep squeezing, keep activating through this right side. Make sure that the trunk muscles are doing the work, not the spinal column. Spinal column is there to stabilize and support. Trunk muscles are to work. Gently, slowly, unwind your eyes. Unwind your rib cage. Inhale, lengthen that left arm back up and over, and allow this right hip to come forward. If your body says yes, one more time, I want you to take your hands to the bottom of the chair back. Thumbs are pointing down. Deep inhale, and on the exhale, gently squeeze those inner edges of the shoulder blades together. You're not overextending through your head and your neck. You can swallow comfortably. Gentle back bend. Gently release. Allow the shoulders to roll forward. Allow the spine to roll back. Then come to neutral. This time, we're going to go ahead and allow that left hip to come back and onto the chair as the right gently moves forward. Left hand this time is either going to hold at the bottom of the back or on the seat. Inhale, lengthen, right arm up. Squeeze through this left side, through the left trunk. Use it to pull your body around. Allow this right hand to come down. Left hand can come to the back. This can be the complete twist. If your body says yes, you can continue to feel the rotation through the rib cage and then allow the head and neck to look behind. You are continuing to squeeze through that left side of the trunk. Use the muscles to make the twist. Breathe. Full deep breath. And then gently, slowly, release the head and eyes and neck. Release the rib cage. Inhale. Whoops. Sorry, inhale. Bring that right arm back up and over and unwind. And then roll everything out. Okay, you guys, guess what? It's already time for relaxation. I swear, it just goes too fast. You have two options. You can use your chair to do legs up the chair, or you can do your traditional final Savasana. So please go with what feels best. Okay. Get nice and comfy. Use whatever bolsters, blocks, blankets, eye bags, whatever you need. I'm going to adjust the camera one more time. Get comfortable. You guys, believe it or not, the time today seemed to go really, really fast. Beautiful. Okay. So as you're here, in whatever variation feels best, let it all go. Come back to your body and take a moment to scan your body and observe how you're feeling now versus how you felt when you first came to class. Take a moment to fidget and make sure that you are really in a space of comfort. Take a moment to make sure that the shoulders are not working up towards the ears, that the pelvis is comfortable and relaxed, that your breath is easy, that there's no tension in through the jaw and the head and the neck. And as you're here, moving into the fullest expression of your yoga practice, that space of deep softness, the yummiest pose of all. Take a moment of gratitude for your body, for bringing you through your practice today. Take a moment of gratitude for your breath, with every inhale, every exhale. And then see if you can find a place that feels so comfortable that you allow yourself to be held. And you simply sink into that space. Very gently, very slowly, begin to find your way back. Start with fingers and toes, hands and feet, and allow them to make gentle movements, whatever feels best for you. And bring that awareness back into your breath. So allow it to travel up the legs, up the arms, coming back into a full deep inhale through the nose, full deep exhale through the nose, bringing in fresh oxygen, fresh breath, fresh life. And then using your breath, if it feels appropriate, inhale, bring your arms up over your head, to stretch. Really lengthen fingertips to toes, bones to skin, opening back into the body. And then from there, use your breath to draw the legs high up and into your chest. Give yourself a gentle hug. And when you're ready, gently roll yourself onto your side. Back up into a seated position. One last time, allow your palms to touch, thumbs to rest at the center of the sternum at the heart point. You guys, thank you so much for today. So honored to get to be with you. And I honor the divine in you that is the divine in me, that is the divine in all of us. Namaste. And may the blessings be.